Hi there, movie lovers. Welcome back to the Best Movies channel. Today, we're taking a closer look at Death and the Maiden, a gripping mystery drama from 1994, directed by Roman Polanski. Starring the brilliant Sigourney Weaver, Ben Kingsley, and Stuart Wilson, this intense film is based on the acclaimed 1990 play by Ariel Dorfman, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Rafael Iglesias. It's a story full of tension, moral questions, and psychological depth, the kind of film that stays with you long after the credits roll. Stay with me as we explore this powerful and thought-provoking movie. First, we'll go over a quick summary of the plot, and then we'll dive into a review of the film. So here's what happens in Death and the Maiden. Paulina Escobar is a housewife living in an unnamed South American country, though it's pretty clear the film is hinting at Chile. She's married to Gerardo, a well-known lawyer. One stormy night, Gerardo ends up giving a ride home to a polite and charming stranger named Dr. Miranda, after his car breaks down and the power goes out at their house. But here's where things take a dark turn. Paulina becomes convinced that this man, Miranda, isn't just some friendly passerby. She believes he's the same man who, during the time of the old regime, kidnapped, tortured, and raped her for weeks while she was blindfolded. She's absolutely certain it's him. So she takes him captive in her own home to uncover the truth. Despite Gerardo's and Miranda's attempts to prove Miranda's innocence, Paulina doesn't back down. In fact, she sets up a kind of mock trial right in their living room, with her husband forced to act as Miranda's lawyer. Eventually, Miranda and Gerardo agree to a false confession, just to end the ordeal and save Miranda's life. But when they present it to Paulina, she sees right through it. She's furious and says that Miranda still shows no remorse, and she's ready to kill him. Then things escalate even more. Miranda grabs Paulina's gun and threatens her, demanding to be freed. But just then, the power comes back on, and Paulina manages to knock him out and take control again. In a final desperate move, Miranda begs Gerardo to call a medical school in Spain, where he claims to have been at the time Paulina was assaulted. Paulina leads him out blindfolded to the edge of a cliff. Gerardo calls the school, and a colleague seems to confirm Miranda's alibi. Gerardo rushes to stop Paulina, now believing that Miranda might actually be innocent. But Paulina isn't convinced. She insists that many doctors back then covered for each other with fake alibis. Then, in a shocking twist, Miranda confesses, he really was the doctor. He says he enjoyed torturing her and even regrets that the regime collapsed. Gerardo, overcome with rage, nearly throws Miranda off the cliff, but he just can't go through with it. Paulina accepts the confession, and she and Gerardo leave Miranda there, standing on the edge, looking down. In the final scene, we're back at the concert hall where the film began. Paulina and Gerardo are sitting in the audience, and Miranda is there too, this time with his wife and kids. Paulina and Miranda share a tense glance. He looks away. And then Gerardo looks up toward the balcony where Miranda was sitting, but now he's off screen. Now let's dive into the review of the film. Death and the Maiden, directed by Roman Polanski, unfolds in a tense atmosphere shaped by a dark past, a search for truth, and a confrontation with deep psychological trauma. Paulina, a woman who was tortured during a dictatorship, now lives with her husband Gerardo and seems to have found some sense of peace, until the sudden arrival of Dr. Miranda, the man she believes tortured her, shatters that fragile calm. But this film isn't just about uncovering the truth. It explores the clash of perspectives on justice, trust, and personal memory. Dr. Miranda, who pretends to be a supporter of democracy and justice, has actually come to Paulina and Gerardo's home to gather information about the investigation committee. On the other side, Gerardo, a human rights lawyer, is easily deceived by Miranda's polite and reasonable appearance and places his trust in him. As the story progresses, Gerardo begins to realize just how shallow and fragile his own belief in justice really is, because all it takes is a single phone call for him to believe Miranda might be innocent. But when he comes face to face with the truth, just like Paulina, he too is confronted with the emptiness and failure of official mechanisms of justice. In the end, Paulina, who was on the verge of a complete breakdown, is now able to go to a concert freely, without fear of seeing a face from the past. She has taken control of her trauma and regained a sense of emotional balance. The film moves symbolically from darkness to light, from storm to clear skies, a journey from the unconscious to awareness. Nature, especially the sea, holds a special place in this story. According to Jung, the sea represents the unconscious mind, eternity, and the possibility of rebirth. Miranda's confession under the open blue sky, in silence and without any recording device, reflects a moment of inner reconciliation and final release for all three characters. It's as if, embraced by nature, they are offered a second chance to be born again. And finally, I hope you will see this movie completely and enjoy watching it. I would be happy if you could comment your opinion about this movie.